We take a look at the tail of the tape for this featherweight bout. The 145s is scheduled for 3 rounds. Both men coming to us by way of Canada. 27 for Horodecki, 5'9", 145. And there you see his reach. 23 years of age for Huete, 5'10". Similar in weight, but he has a 4-inch reach advantage. We sit it inside the cage now, and that is where Jazz Sakura has the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, our next fight is brought to you by Everlast Hydrate Elite. We're scheduled for 3 rounds in the World Series of Fighting featherweight division. And now, introducing on my left, fighting out of the blue corner. His record is impressive, 6 victories, only 1 defeat. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing 145 pounds, fighting out of Calgary, Alberta. Tonight, he makes his World Series of Fighting debut. Introducing Luis the Golden Boy
Luis Huete won 5 of his 6 wins by way of submission, and since Horodecki is a great striker, I would see if I can set up takedowns with strikes or use his opponent's counters to set up takedowns.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent on my right, fighting out of the red corner, his record, 20 victories, 5 defeats, 1 draw. Standing 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing 146 pounds, fighting out of London, Ontario, also making his World Series of Fighting debut, presenting Chris, the Polish Hammer, Horodecki!
Horodecki is a great striker, he's better than his opponent, so use short combinations with movement right after, avoid the clinch, and when it goes to the ground, get the opponent in the guard ASAP.
Your referee is Kyle Cardinal.
So we are set to go in the featherweight division here in Edmonton, as the lovely Michelle Jean-Pierre gets us started for our second bout of the night at World Series of Fighting 14.
Luis, you ready? Chris, you ready? Let's do it.
Horodecki in the white, Huete in the black. Not necessarily contrasting styles, boss, but I think Huete's going to go about his attack just a little bit different than Horodecki.
Yeah, Horodecki's going to watch with his strikes. He's got to watch out with those single kicks. I always say it. It's better to set it up against it, especially against the guy who wants this fight on the ground.
Get loose. Take those shoulders out a little bit. Have fun in there, man.
Got to pick his shots. And it's the same thing for Huete, you know. He's got to wait for counters.
You watch Luis Huete, and he's got a little bit of a look like a Jose Aldo or a Cub Swanson in the UFC. The way he's built, so quick on his feet. Very talented athlete like those other 2 gentlemen I mentioned. And Chris Horodecki is going to come forward. And certainly Huete's got the hometown crowd in his back pocket as he comes from the province of Alberta.
It's the East versus West.
Yes, it is.
Huete is doing great in the striking as well.
Don't put your fingers in the fence, Luis. Get your back off the cage, Chris.
Chris has to watch out now for knees, because Huete has his hand already in between there.
Luis, don't
lift him up.
Don't put your fingers in the fence again.
Interesting as you look at Horodecki able to get out of that clinch in against the cage. Horodecki comes in with 26 professional fights to Huete's 7. And this is where Horodecki's really going to excel.
Yeah,
this kind of experience.
You see this lately from all the guys over there going for takedowns. In the beginning, they were all strikers, and now they start learning everything. The ground game. He has to watch out though. Make sure he doesn't end up in the guard,
Push
just
off
like
with your feet. Push
what's
off.
going on now, because he might
Don't
right
lock
away
your
go
toes in the cage,
for submissions.
Luis.
He's got a body triangle on backwards there. See. Good to control, but not great to pull a submission.
Dangerous up kick coming from Huete. Horodecki almost walked right back into that, so Huete closes guard and really controlling that right arm of Horodecki right now.
Hewitt's trying to put his foot on the cage, push himself away a little bit, because he doesn't like to be here, pressed up against the fence.
This is an incredibly important fight for both these guys as they make their debuts in the World Series of Fighting. You perform well in the featherweight division, World Series of Fighting. There's some big fights ahead because there's so much talent in this division.
Yep.
Under 2 minutes to go here in round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3 from the Edmonton Expo Center here in Canada. Chris Horodecki in the white trunks. And the chance begin again for Hewitt in the black trunks.
Back to full guard. Very smart. Watch him going for arm bars. Once his guard gets a little higher, he will look for it. Gotta watch out for the jump kicks, you know, that's
Almost walked into it.
2 times, yep.
Hewitt's got the long legs. Horodecki, as we mentioned in the open, very aggressive, seems to always be coming forward.
Hewitt was looking for a side choke there, see if he could pull it up from that position.
How important is it for Hewitt now to control the head of Horodecki, as Horodecki looks like he's trying to posture up?
That's it. Once you posture up, you create distance. I always talk about distance, and once you have space, that means you can hit. So you want to keep your opponent close to you. That's why in shorter distance you see elbows, and further away you see strikes with the fist.
If you're in the corner of Horodecki right now in the white trunks, boss, what would you be telling your fighter?
Yeah, posture up, but you have to watch out also that Hewitt doesn't grab an ankle and pushes you on your back. So most of the posture up, push yourself out, cross face, and start hitting. That elbow is good. He needs to mix it up a little bit more. And Hewitt, what he can do also, he can double underhook him there and just pull him on him.
Don't grab the fence, Chris.
And then the referee might stand you back up.
Wow, dangerous. As Hewitt tried to get up, Horodecki's not going to let that happen. Sensing that he's going to fare better on the ground here as we come to the final 10 seconds here of round number 1. This one's scheduled for 3. We'll be back for the second round when we return to Edmonton Expo Center in Alberta, Canada.
Stop, guys, stop. Chris, I'm going to get you to watch your head, okay, when you dive in.
Good first round, okay? A couple things we need to do. Start throwing combinations when you're gonna punch, okay? I don't care, you don't have to land every punch. I want you to just throw, and if they land, they land. If they don't, they don't. But I want you throwing, keeping something in his face. Don't throw a kick without setting something else up first, okay? Yeah, you're looking good though, and he's got nothing for you on the ground. So if you get into any kind of trouble, you just shoot that takedown. Look for the takedown anyways. Make him uncomfortable. But when you're on the feet, combinations, couple punches, throw a kick, back to punches, right? Don't throw a kick without setting it up, and don't throw 1s and 2s. I want 3s and 4s. 3s and 4s. Let's do this, kid. You got this. You're looking good. Best one round you. When you're gonna punch, okay? I don't care. You don't have to land every punch. I want you to just throw. And if they land, they land. If they don't, they don't. But I want you keeping something in his face. Don't throw a kick without setting something else up first, okay? Yeah, you're looking good though, and he's got nothing for you on the ground. So if you get into any kind of trouble, you just shoot that takedown. Look for the takedown anyways. Make him uncomfortable. But when you're on the feet, combinations, couple punches, throw a kick, back to punches, right?
You see, and Sam Stout in his corner said exactly what I said. Don't throw single kicks, set it up with strikes.
That was also interesting that Sam Stout in the corner of Chris Horodecki telling him if you get into trouble, just go for the takedown, go for the shoot because he's got nothing for you on the ground. You agree with that?
You know, it looked like it, but I think a guy with 5 submission wins from his six fights, I think you have to watch out for it.
Total strikes from the first round, 21-9 in favor of Chris Horodecki in the white trunks.
Hewitt is doing much better on his feet than I expected. I never expected this to happen. I would have thought it would be the other way around. Hewitt going for takedowns, Horodecki keep it on the feet. It's funny. Mixed martial art.
Trying to get him off the cage, so he's going to go with those inside leg knees. And Huete with a nice defensive sprawl against the cage, not letting him pull him away. Now he's got to get to work.
Yeah, his hands need to be closer, behind the knees preferably, because then you get good leverage to take somebody down, you know, around the buttocks. It's not going to work.
Yeah, Huete just looks to be more comfortable when it's more of a striking game. I think he feels that he has the advantage with the speed. And as soon as they go into that clinch, it seems to favor Horodecki. Coming up on halfway through round number 2. This one's scheduled for 3 here in Edmonton. Wow.
Huete let him come closer.
Yep.
Horodecki started to nail some shots in the beginning. You know, he had a better distance. He used his reach very well. He's going to watch out triangle choke attempt here.
Both men coming with kicks, but it was Horodecki's that landed and did the most damage.
All tied up again. Horodecki tries to pass, but it's hard. You know, you don't have that arm free there. You need to push that leg to the side. The guard needs to be open, of course. That's a nice elbow there. That one didn't connect a second.
Final 90 seconds of round number 2. You know, you got to be impressed with Horodecki. You know, he could have just stood up and got that thing to his feet, and he gets up and he just dives right back on Huete.
Dives right back, and Huete's constantly fishing for submissions.
Yep. Huete does a pretty good job, though, as you pointed out, Boss, closing the distance. So Horodecki unable really to posture up and land any serious punches, do some damage. Closes guard, does Huete.
Yeah, sometimes he does the body triangle also. You know, because he's got the long legs.
Right.
They can do that. See, now he's getting very close to do it again. And that will totally shut Horodecki's striking game down because he can't posture up. Now he can because it's a more open guard.
If you're in the corner of Huete, what would you be telling your fighter? Do you let Horodecki maybe posture up and possibly fish for an arm bar? Nope, that's not going to happen because Kyle Cardinal, the referee, is going to stand him up. Than a connection by Horodecki, but the bottom line is Huete finds himself on his back with Horodecki in a more dominant position, and this fight will go to a 3rd and final round in Canada.
Second zone, let's go. Oh, go. Take 5 minutes. Last round.
Welcome back to Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. World Series of Fighting 14, the 3rd and final round here in the featherweight division. Chris Horodecki in the white trunks, the Canadian, facing off with fellow Canadian Luis Huete in the black trunks.
Oh, that was a very nicely timed strike there.
Boss, as we go to this 3rd and final round, if you look at your unofficial scorecard, how do you have this one going so far?
Well, I have to go to for Horodecki. You know, he got the fight to the ground a couple of times, worked more on the ground there. You know, on the feet, I think both did good, did well. You know, I always say that they should start counting also submission attempts because I think that should count as well. But we know they don't. So I would say now, yeah, with all what I said, and especially this takedown again.
This takedown. Horodecki is just, to me, Boss, it looks like he's just the more experienced mixed martial artist. I don't think he's as physically gifted as Huete, but inside the cage, he has been able to impose his will, and that's really what it all comes down to.
Yeah, he had more than 3 times the amount of fights. And it's really like that. And I really see him grow now. You know, in the time when I was coaching him, he didn't do this.
Right.
It was only striking. And now suddenly he goes takedowns, you know, ground and pound. You know, he's becoming a much smarter fighter.
So Chris Horodecki in the third and final round has to play positive here, continue to rack up points, but control his opponent. And as we mentioned at the top in the first round, Horodecki really only knows one gear, and that's coming forward. Very aggressive. Sometimes it gets him into trouble, but so far he seems to have no problem controlling Luis Huete, as the fan once again gets behind the man in the blue corner, Huete from Calgary, Alberta. But he is definitely behind on the Boss Root and an official scorecard. He needs something big here in the third and final round.
He really needs, probably a submission victory. And since he pulled 5 off from the 6 fights, I will repeat myself, he might do it. If Horodecki gets sloppy, you never know.
Got him stretched out right now, and really we've seen Kyle Cardinal, our referee, he'll stand him up, and that's exactly what he's going to do here.
Yep.
Other referees will let him just stay there and try to work it out, which not something the fans want to see. And this has got to be the advantage of Huete because he's done much better on his feet.
Although not the last half of the round number 2, Horodecki started closing the distance, start finding target. Also now the beginning when it went to the ground, it was that stiff jab that he walked on when Huete threw the kick. His distance is getting better, but Huete he had a better striking game in the beginning of the fight. First 1.5 round, he used his reach very well.
Yeah. I think it just goes to show you just how polished you have to be with the years that he's put in, and Chris Horodecki certainly has put in more years than Huete. I think Huete's got some big upside. Physical ability certainly there.
Yeah, Horodecki is polished because he's the Polish hammer.
I said polished.
I know, I got to play with words. Come on.
Oh boy.
I'm Dutch.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go here in the third and final round, featherweight division from Edmonton, Alberta. You're watching World Series of Fighting 14. Chris Horodecki in control of this fight in the white trunks, and another takedown for him on Luis Huete. But Foz, as we've seen, and we've seen a lot of MMA fights thinking we know what the officials are thinking, but it goes the other way.
Yeah, Huete is looking for a Kimura. I can't see it from this side. But if that is the case, Horodecki needs to get that right leg out. Okay, no, he's free. He still has to watch out there because that arm is hanging there. Oh yeah, okay. Now we got some view here. It's not. Horodecki might even try to go for a side choke here. See, there we go.
He's setting it up.
But he felt it coming. Huete did.
Now Huete's just basically trying to lock up the head of Horodecki, and really no danger of submitting him from this position.
Yeah, Huete should with his left arm trap the right hand from Horodecki, flip his switch, and then flip him to the left.
And once again, Kyle Cardinal stands him back up.
Oh,
he goes with a big uppercut to Huete.
He needs to. He needs
something.
What? He's got 50 seconds left to land something big. Horodecki has been in these wars.
Yep. Coming up on the final 30, and these guys giving the fans here at the Edmonton Expo Center a real show.
Oh, trip there.
Wow.
These guys are going for it. This is the third.
You don't see these kind of flurries in the third and final round, but you sense that Huete knows he's got to pull something off.
Oh, head kick.
Turns his head at the most inopportune time, and Horodecki goes top shelf with a kick. And this one is going to go to the judges.
Wow, very nice. That horn sounded really pathetic, actually. Did you hear that?
Not much, but a great finish and 3 rounds of fighting in the featherweight division. Will it be Luis Huete or Chris Horodecki? One of these Canadians will have his hand raised when we return to the Edmonton Expo Center live on NBCSN. 32-year-old Ryan Ford going through final preparations. The young man from right here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, will face off in the main event against Jake Shields. You'll see it live here on NBCSN. Right now we go back inside the cage after 3 exciting rounds of action in the featherweight division. Jazz Sakuro has the official word.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 professional rounds in the featherweight division, we sent it to the judges' scorecards for your winner. All 3 judges, Sean Gerke, Merrick Stazik, and Robert Donahue, score this fight 30-27. Your winner by unanimous decision, the Polish Hammer, Chris Horodecki.
So Horodecki picks up his 21st professional victory. 7 KOs, 4 submissions, and the young man from London, Ontario, Canada is moving on. Big things on his horizon here at the World Series of Fighting. What a debut for him and his team, Sam Stout included. What a night here inside the Edmonton Expo Centers. We take a look at the autoshopper.com highlights from Edmonton. Let's start off, boss, in round number 2, and Horodecki really enjoying his time once he was able to get Huete on the ground.
Yeah, you know, I think maybe Huete also didn't expect it. He knows he's a striker. That was a very well-timed left straight there. Huete kicked, simultaneously got hit, went to the ground, and here again, we have that body lock there, takedown. You almost want to call it a double leg, but he didn't grab any leg. And again one, a body lock takedown right away into side mount position. And this was the brawl at the end. These guys just, that left high kick landed. Back and forth.
Yeah. Get ready. Listen. What you wanna do? If you don't strike first, that's when they gon' come at you. Yeah. And you know it's true. Don't let your life get worse. Being timid, that ain't cool. Nah.